So we've got the new redesigned Driftmaster 3 bandsaw fence from Laguna, and the neat thing about it is it actually fits a lot of different models of saw, even non-Laguna branded saws. And they kind of accomplish that by putting really nice slotted holes in the assembly brackets, and it just seems like it will fit just about any saw in the 14 to 18 inch range. And they actually claim that the brackets can mount on some 24 inch bandsaws, so that's a pretty wide range for a single fence system. One of the main benefits of this style of fence is that it has an adjustment to account for bandsaw drift. So you can angle the fence in small increments, either left or right, to account for that bandsaw drift and keep your blade tracking nice and true, nice and straight, even when you're doing deep and heavy resaw cuts. Even though you have that special adjustment feature, I still recommend starting with a square fence setup. So just square the fence to the bandsaw table like you would with any other fence system, and then you have that adjustment in the future if you start to experience some bandsaw drift. This is a Laguna 1412 bandsaw, and luckily the Driftmaster 3 is a direct bolt-on replacement. You don't even have to drill any holes, and there's no modification required. All the hardware that you'll need is actually included with the new fence system. What's different about the new fence is the number of adjustments. I mean, my old fence I think had 3 knobs to lock it in place. This one has 9 knobs or levers, and you can adjust it in just about any conceivable way. Okay, let's start with the levers you'll use all the time. This is the main lock. It's the silver lever, and this will lock the fence in position. As you unlock it here, you're free to use the rack and pinion adjustment, which is a left to right adjustment of the fence. And the way that they've graded this is each full revolution will give you 1/4 inch of movement, and then you can just fine tune it from there. Now, if you want a more coarse adjustment, just release this black lever on your right hand, pull the red tab out, and you can slide the fence anywhere along its travel. Make sure that's pressed back in and relock that cam lock. From there, you'd lock your fence in, and away you go. Now these 2 rubberized knobs you won't use as often, but it'll help you release the fence if you want to put that into the low mode of operation. Let's go ahead and tighten those back up. Now these black levers up here, you release those if you need to occasionally make a drift adjustment, and that's just an angled adjustment that will tip the fence slightly left or right to accommodate for any drift that you might be experiencing at your bandsaw. Once you have that locked in the way you want it, go ahead and tighten up those 2 black levers. One thing I would say is to have the main fence lock engaged as you're making these drift adjustments. That way when you snug up these 2 levers, nothing will shift on you. I like the bolt-on stop that's included as well. It'll prevent that nylon set screw from losing contact with your tabletop. It's a super easy system to install, and I guess on some of the earliest versions of the Driftmaster, installation was a bit of a chore, but they've really solved that now. There's a short bracket on one side and a long bracket on the other side. Those just attach with a pair of bolts, and with the 1412 bandsaw, there's absolutely no drilling. It's a direct bolt-on. And then the rail assembly just attaches to the bracket with 5 short-length bolts from underneath. Alright, so it looks like really thin, consistent cuts right off the saw. So, advantages, disadvantages, and final thoughts on this bandsaw upgrade. I think this fence really will improve your ability to do resawing cuts at the bandsaw. Now, will it overcome a dull or improper blade for resawing? No, absolutely not. You want to have a good, probably 3/4 inch wide bandsaw blade, and it's got to be a good sharp blade. Otherwise, you'll notice other problems like barrel cuts or the cut wandering off your intended path. That really has nothing to do with the fence system. It's just that your blade is shot. Now, obviously, a high quality fence upgrade like this is going to cost more than a typical aftermarket fence assembly that you might find from Woodcraft or Rockler. You'll have to decide for yourself whether that's going to be worth the cost. You can check with Laguna for the current pricing on their Driftmaster 3. The one improvement I would like to see moving forward would just be an add-on to this kit, and it would be just a low profile fence. 2.5 or 3 inches tall would be perfect, and especially if it had a T-track slot on the side facing the blade so you could add stop blocks. I think that sort of an upgrade would really make this system unbeatable. Of course, you can drop the current fence down into the low mode. But that will naturally eat up some of the width capacity of your bandsaw. Alright guys, thanks for sticking around. I'll put some links for you in the description box if you want to peruse through some of my favorite bandsaws and bandsaw accessories. Hit me with a thumbs up if you like the topic, and feel free to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you guys on the next one. That rack and pinion is just so smooth.